your AccuWeather forecast. I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
From local sports to national newsmakers, live from the Granite State, it's Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Good morning. Welcome to the Hoss Show, powered by the Yum Shop on the Pulse of New Hampshire. I'm Mike Denane alongside Charlie Hossack. We are Mike and the Hoss. A little depressed hearing the weather forecast for the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, today we're going to have a nice day today, being Saturday, and then tomorrow we're going to get some rain. You're going to get some dry weather here and there, and then
I don't know.
And then
long
Monday.
weekend. I've been looking forward to the long weekend. Looking forward to playing golf this weekend a bunch of times.
You'll still be able to play golf.
Well, I played today. I already played today, and I'm planning on playing tomorrow morning. Around us, I was just looking. Rain's supposed to start a little bit more towards noon.
Okay.
It's still a little sad. I was looking forward to that.
You just wanted sun and warm weather.
80 degrees and warm weather. I guess next week is supposed to be pretty nice.
I was going to say the start of the work week next week looks beautiful.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We'll be able to get out.
It's all right.
Yeah. But it is a long weekend, and it's a weekend that we remember those that gave all. So it's kind of a somber weekend, but it is also the unofficial start of summer. And we live in a tourist town, and we are already seeing that. So lots and lots of people around our neck of the woods, which is exciting, and people are ready. I mean, you had made a comment coming in that we are winding down our academic year, and we're kind of feeling that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm starting a petition about ending school at Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day.
It's not going to go very far.
It's not going to go over. The problem is, and we joked about this, the problem is that we could do that as long as we started in mid-August.
Yeah, I know.
And we don't want to do that either.
Getting back to Memorial Day, and you know this, we talked about it a little bit. I was fortunate enough to go to Normandy this winter, and it's put Memorial Day, not that I didn't have respect for it before, but it has definitely put it, and you're a veteran, and you've served, so thank you for that. But it definitely has put it in a different perspective, and you know, if people get a chance to go to Normandy and to go to the memorial, it's incredible.
That's awesome. Yeah. And just it's a long weekend, right? So just take a moment or two and just to remember, right? Just remember. But yeah, it's an exciting time. I mean, I think it's exciting. We're in the heart of baseball season. That being said, it's not as exciting. Not as exciting if you're a Red Sox fan, but baseball's baseball. So that it still excites me. I think right now we as Red Sox fans are a bit frustrated.
Well, in a good way. They're still in it. They're still this. Yeah. You think based on how Red Sox Nation has been, myself included.
Yes.
That the season's over, but they're not. They were at one point. They were a game out of wild card. I don't know if they still are. Yeah. They're just a very frustrating product.
Right.
And we'll talk about it.
Yeah. And one of the things today that I look forward to this every year. I'm sure that you and Dog don't. But it's my annual, I talk about some of the new ballpark foods that have come out for this season with different parks, and it kind of gets me excited. I mean, you guys know that I like to travel, and Dog does this too. I like to travel to as many Major League Baseball parks as I can. Obviously, I still have a few left on my bucket list, and eventually, hopefully, I'll get there. But it's just kind of fun to see what the rest of the country does as far as baseball and their baseball songs and their foods. And today, we're going to take a little bit pause to kind of look at some of the food.
Excellent. All right. Mike and the Hoss is powered by the Yum Yum Shop, located in the heart of downtown Wolfboro, and can be found on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations and all over the world on the Pulse of New Hampshire app. You can always catch up and listen to our previous shows on the Pulse Podcast Network, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Yum Yum Shop has over 100 varieties of fresh baked goods, including 6 different types of bread and a full-service ice cream bar, and, of course, their most famous item, the gingerbread cookie. Make sure to visit the Yum Yum Shop the next time you're in Wolfboro or online at yummyumshop.com. And while you're there, enter the discount code of Mike and the Hoss to receive 20% off a Gingy Box. You can join the conversation, 603-228-2080. That is 603-228-2080. And if you are fortunate enough to be watching us on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, we can thank the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London for sponsoring that feed. Obviously, don't forget to follow our social media.
Yes, we are on X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. I wanted to make one quick comment about the discount code for the Yum Yum Shop for the Mike and the Hoss. All of these Gingy boxes can be shipped all around the world.
Right.
So don't feel like you're listening to us in Indiana and you can't get to the Yum Yum Shop. No big deal. You can order online, put the disc code in. a discount code in, and they'll ship it right to your door.
And I promise you, if a Gingy box shows up at your door, you will not regret it.
No, oh my gosh, they're so good, so good.
All right, opening takes are brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse,
where you can enjoy delicious food and drinks right next to the lake. Don't forget to order the $5 Mike in the Hospitality box during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m.
Made it there this week for wing night. 50 cents wings on Wednesday night. Yes, I said that right. 50-cent wings Wednesday night. They've been doing it for over a year.
How many did you do?
Well, they actually were running out. I ordered 18.
You're like, I'm going to win tonight, but they ran out.
And so I ended up getting 14.
Okay, so 18 is about what you.
I'm usually 18.
That's good.
It takes 50 to 60 to win. They have a contest every time
Wednesday.
on Wednesdays. I've never entered the contest or even tried to.
It's a bit gluttonous.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm not young. It's usually some 18-year-old at high school,
But 50-cent wing, 18 wings. That's a nice meal.
Great. And they're awesome. All right. Miriam,
go ahead. Let's do.
So I did this I actually thought about this and kind of formulated my topic last weekend after we did our show. We haven't talked about the WNBA. The WNBA season has kicked off, and the offseason saw a lot of player movement. Caitlin Clark, obviously, she only played like 12 games last year, and she's back, although she is fighting some injury stuff with her back.
Yeah.
And Angel Reese moved on, and we talked a lot about Angel Reese. And last weekend they had their showcase games on Saturday, and Caitlin Clark was not showcased. It was Angel Reese who was showcased. Now, meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has broken another record for double-doubles, triple-doubles, or whatever it was this week as far as career goes. She's still breaking records. She's still playing well. Angel Reese, on the other hand, was benched. By the Storm, the Chicago Atlanta Dream. Atlanta Dream. And she was benched because you know why?
Why, Mike?
She's not very good. She's not very good. And their Dream is starting to realize that. She gets 12 rebounds again, but she throws up brick after brick after brick. But yet that's who they decided to feature because, God forbid, they don't want to make her mad because she's going to go on a podcast and bash somebody.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
she's like the WNBA Dennis Rodman.
Caitlin Clark is still the main ticket.
Yeah.
And I know Kelsey Plum Arsenault had a great night yesterday. She had like 15 points in the first quarter, and she's playing very well. And Paige Beckers is playing well. And there's obviously a lot of other stars in the league, but Caitlin Clark is still the ticket.
Yeah.
And yet the WNBA decided not to promote her as the main attraction in the game. They just don't get it.
They don't. And the Indiana Fever have all of their games nationally televised. It's like the Atlanta Dream or not nationally televised.
She's the starter for the Indianapolis 500 for crying out loud. She is the main event in that league, and yet the powers that be of the WNBA do not want to promote her at the fear of upsetting the other players.
Yeah,
that's the reason why they don't want to promote her at the fear of upsetting the other players. There are players now that are making millions of dollars in the new deals. You know who's not? Caitlin Clark is the reason you're making millions of dollars.
Yes.
But no, let's not put her on the cover. Let's put Angel Reese, who went 1 for 9 and then got benched by the Dream. And they're like, why in God's name do we trade for her?
Right. Yeah. You make a great point. We've been saying this now for a couple of years that the WNBA has an issue with marketing, advertising, public relations. They don't want to be successful because they could make this league into something even more special than it currently is if you focus on the greatest player that has ever played in the WNBA.
No, I would disagree with that. I don't think she's the greatest player that ever played in WNBA. I think there's incredible talent at the top end of that league that are more impactful to the game than Caitlin Clark is. Caitlin Clark could go down as one of the all-time. She's a top 10 player, but the WNBA is not realizing that she is still the meal ticket. Mm-hmm. That because of what she did at Iowa State, right? Iowa State. Yeah, so Iowa. So what she did there and the national attention that went to her and the three-pointers and all that kind of stuff and the impact that she came into the league and as a rookie was dominating her position. Mm-hmm. they still don't want to get behind her. And I know that is at the fear of upsetting the other women in that league.
It's interesting that you with the Caitlin Clark thing, because they did a couple weeks ago. They did an interview, like kind of a man on the street, sampled like 100. Let's say it's 100 people. I don't know. It could have been more than 100 people. And they said, name anyone that is in the WNBA or who has ever been in the WNBA. The only name anyone knew was Caitlin Clark. I can't name other people. I mean, obviously I can, but it's like the only name people knew. The WNBA has been around for many, many years. The only player they ever knew is Caitlin Clark.
And that's not because the WNBA is promoting her. They're doing everything they can not to promote her. It's because just general social media and television, whatever, she's the ticket. She's the one that makes the 3-pointer. She's the one that hits the 3-pointer at the end of the game to tie it up. She is that one. Yet she's like the third rail for that sport. They don't want to go there at the fear of upsetting the rest of that league. And I just don't get it. I don't get it. I still don't get it. They're obviously not going to change.
Yeah.
We thought, last year we didn't even talk about the WNBA. They were barely on television down the stretch because Caitlin Clark wasn't playing.
Right.
And nobody was talking about the WNBA. The league starts up again. Caitlin Clark's playing. People are talking about it. They have a feature game on their second opening weekend, and they put, like I said, they put Angel Reese down there, who wasn't even playing past the first quarter.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It is. I mean, and if I look at it this way. I mean, we've talked about this. The Caitlin Clark factor. They need to capitalize on it, because 5 to 7 years from now, if they don't continue to capitalize on this, why bother having the WNBA? Why have a league that doesn't make money? At some point, decisions are going to need to be made. To why would you have a league that continues to lose money?
Live Golf did that. Live Golf.
What is happening to Live Golf?
Live Golf. The Saudis finally pulled the plug, and they said, even though we have $900 billion in our investment fund, we have an unlimited amount of cash. They said, this is still not a very good investment for us because we are losing too much money. We're losing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. So at the end of this year,
my point for me.
They
so
pulled the plug.
When will the NBA finally make that decision to say, hey, this is not making any money? Why keep it?
Well, the fact that they're starting to pay their players a little bit more money now. They're starting to pay some of their top level players.
Thankfully, because they advertise in contracts.
Because
and the television
like
contract.
1.4 million, but the league is still operating in the red.
Correct.
And so now they have more contracts. There's more payments that they have to make because they're going from $70,000 max to, like I said, like 1.4 million for some of the players that are making. So there's a bigger nut that they're going to have to pay. Yeah. And so the speed at which this league is going to fold is going to be quicker unless they get their act together. Because now they're putting more money out.
Agreed.
Okay. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back with Charlie's opening take, and we're obviously going to talk about Kyle Busch. I know we don't do a lot of NASCAR on this, but that's amazing news that came out of the NASCAR world, the racing world. And so we will get to that when we come back from break. We'll be right back.
Your home for news, talk, and information.
This is 107.7 WTPL.
The Pulse of New Hampshire.
Do you ever feel like you're doing everything you can to keep your family healthy, but something's still missing? Hi, I'm Dr. Stephanie, mom, grandma, and founder of Crossroads Chiropractic. Getting adjusted is the best gift my mother gave to me as a child. After countless rounds of antibiotics and surgical tubes in my ears, my health turned around when I finally saw the family chiropractor. Whether it's your child's sleep struggles, frequent colds, headaches, or your own stress and tension, your body was designed to heal. Sometimes it just needs the right support. Let chiropractic restore balance to the nervous system so your body and your kids can function the way they're meant to. No drugs, no guesswork, just gentle, personalized care. Imagine fewer sick days, better sleep, more energy, and a calmer, more connected home. Results vary, but in 25 years, we've helped thousands in Pembroke, Meredith, Epping, and Bedford. This month, a complete exam with any necessary x-rays is just $59. Call 603-575-9080 or go to crossroadschiropractic.com.
Now it's the perfect time to think about a spring shakedown for your RV. If this year is anything like last year, you're going to want to call Bill's RV and make your appointment now. With over 40 years of experience, Bill's RV service will make sure your RV will be up for the challenge. From basic repairs to plumbing and electrical services, Make your appointment now to make sure your RV is ready. Bill's RV Service, Route 4 in Chichester. Call 603-798-3000 or online at billsrvserviceinc.com.
Now is the perfect time to sell your RV. Not sure how to go about it without paying hefty middleman fees? Bill's RV Service in Chichester will sell it for you. Bill will advise you on the fair market value of your RV and then sell it for you at no additional fee to you. The buyer pays the premium. Bill can even come pick it up for you. Call Bill's RV Service now at 603-798-3000 for all the details or online at billsrvserviceinc.com.
To all the local businesses,
New England's largest locally owned multimedia company, Binny Media, wants to help you grow. We reach your customers wherever they are on this station and many others.
on eye-catching digital billboards through our full-service in-house digital marketing team and on connected TV.
Putting your brand on their screens. We'll connect your business to future customers in traffic, social feeds, and streaming shows. Binny Media,
Rooted here,
reaching everywhere. Learn more
at BinnyMedia.com.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance, but there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of fella who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Yeah. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates unavailable in all states or situations.
Coming up at noon, we talk tech with Kim Commando.
In the meantime, we're back to Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Hoss on the radio waves. Teachers by day, coaches making plays. Sports talking kings of Wolf Bibero Town. Husbands, fathers, where heroes are found.
So very, very sad news out of the racing world this week and the sports world in general. And we don't do a lot of NASCAR, full disclosure. We don't do a lot of NASCAR on the show. We don't do a lot of racing, but arguably one of, if not the greatest race car driver of all times passed away suddenly at the age of 41. Kyle Busch passed away this week. He has raced in New Hampshire at Loudon.
He did.
This is New Hampshire Sports.
Yeah, New Hampshire Sports is brought to you by Bailey's Bubble. Family-owned and operated Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro serves the finest ice cream in the state from May through October. If you can't make it to Wolfboro for ice cream, you can still order their hot fudge, panucci, and butterscotch sauces at baileysbubble.com. My favorite sauce is their homemade hot fudge. When placing your order, don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Hoss sent you.
Not being a NASCAR person, I knew of Kyle Busch. I follow sports,
right?
And I knew of Kyle Busch, but I don't follow. I didn't realize that he has the most victories of all time.
It's crazy,
he has 234 overall wins, which puts him first, sitting Richard Petty, which obviously that's a household name in the racing community. Sure. Yeah. Was at 200 wins. Kyle Busch was 41 years old.
So young.
He was 41 years old. So there's not a lot of details have come out about what exactly happened. He was feeling sick. They're releasing audio in terms of, he had called for a doctor while he was in a race. He missed a week. He just won 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He won winning was obviously, but some stats. NASCAR, Cup Series, 63 wins in NASCAR.
Wow.
That is, NASCAR is in the racing world. That's the top.
Yes.
That's the top. That's holding records in terms of if Major League Baseball or the NBA. 31 pole positions. He 63 wins out of 762 starts. I don't know what the percentage is, but that's incredible. The Xfinity Series, formerly that's the nationwide. He had 102 wins in that out of 367 starts. He won almost one out of every 3 races that he raced.
It's amazing.
It is. I mentioned that his overall 234 wins puts him ahead of Richard Petty, Kevin Harvick at 121. He holds the NASCAR record for the most consecutive Cup Series seasons with at least one victory, 19 straight seasons. Wow. He won a race. He remains the only driver in NASCAR history to win races in all 3 national series during a single race weekend. He accomplished this historic sweep twice, both times at Bristol back in 2010 and 2017. And crown jewel victories alongside his season titles. Bush captured the crown jewel event trophies, including the Southern 500, the Brickyard 400, and the Coca-Cola 600. Again, I'm not a race car fan, but obviously the NASCAR community lost not just one of its own, but we think of Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dale Earnhardt for that matter. Right. This is equivalent to that, and again, we're not NASCAR people. We don't talk about it a lot on the show, but this is massive when it comes to the racing world and the racing community.
Yeah, and you guys, we talked about this, but the only race that I've ever been to was this past summer at Loudon, and I got a chance to, we went into the garages and we went down in pit row and we got to see Kyle Busch, and I mean, it's just amazing that this happened and someone so young from we don't know what really. So
we don't know,
which is just it's kind of scary and sad for everyone involved, his family and of course the fans, and it's tough. It's tough. And there's a race this weekend, so the NASCAR community has to kind of embrace this and handle this with the loss of Kyle Busch.
Shocking. I think people are still just are reeling from. It was just a couple days ago that this happened, and coming to grips is like, what happened?
Yeah.
That's what people are like, what? I don't get it.
Right.
What happened?
Right.
Which is concerning. So
That's
anyway, we're going to move on and
talk a little bit about my opening take, kind of a little switch from Kyle Busch to some Major League Baseball ballpark food. I get excited. We've talked before about what are some of the best sporting events to attend in person, and I think we were in agreement that it was baseball.
Yep.
All three of us enjoy going to baseball games and being in the atmosphere, not only for the baseball game, but for the fans and for the food. And I want to talk a little bit about the 2026 food choices that we have if we travel around the country. And of course, I will talk a little bit about Fenway Park. All right. Let's start with Texas. I don't know. Has anybody here been to a Texas Rangers game in Texas? I have not been there yet.
I have not.
So, okay. Doug, I don't think you've been there. Okay. All right. But check this out. The Texas Rangers have rolled out the 9th inning rally sombrero. It's an actual sombrero. You can wear the sombrero, and they fill the sombrero with massive shareable Mexican-inspired dish. So you get to eat this deliciousness. We could go, the three of us, we could go and enjoy this, and then one of us will get to wear the sombrero. The Colorado Rockies have the Glazilla. The Glazilla is a 2-foot, 1.5-pound hot dog, but they also have the Dubai cinnamon roll. The Dubai cinnamon roll, of course, has Dubai chocolate. It is topped with vanilla ice cream and pistachios. So you could get that in Colorado at the Rockies game after you have the Glazilla. Yeah, you're looking like you don't like that. Yankees, they have the mini dessert. They have the chicken bucket, which is a sweet twist on the iconic chicken bucket that comes filled with mini churros, cookies, and dessert bites. So a little sweet treat there. How about the Red Sox? Are you guys lobster fans?
Yes.
All right. Lobster fan. Are you, Dog?
I am, as long as there's not any butter or mayonnaise on it.
Okay. So this is the lobster poutine. And basically what this is, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with what poutine is, but it's crispy French fries piled high with fresh Luke's lobster meat, clam chowder, and bacon. They kind of put it all together. Instead of the gravy, it's clam chowder with lobster meat and bacon on French fries. You must have to eat this quick before the fries get soggy. So
I like that. That's something I might want to look into.
Okay. So yeah, so
there's a lot there.
You can have that at Fenway Park. The Dodgers, of course, they have the Cochinita Pibil bone marrow tacos, which is a gourmet fusion dish that's clearly making waves in LA. San Francisco Giants have the legendary local favorites like the Dungeness crab sandwiches, the garlic fries, and lumpia. That's at Oracle Park, excuse me. And then I want this one. I want to go back to Philadelphia to have the Schwarbaum sundae. That would be absolutely amazing. So it's this mega sundae, of course, named after Kyle Schwarber. And then the other thing that they continue to do in Philadelphia is the 999. It's the 9 mini hot dogs paired with 9 mini flight-sized beers, and you have to drink it and eat it in 9 innings.
Okay.
So that'd be kind of fun as long as you're walking.
Do you have any details on the Schwarbomb?
All I got on the details was the Schwarbomb. It's lots and lots of scoops of ice cream. I don't know how many scoops of ice cream, but it's got. You can have any sauces. You can have the hot fudge. You can have the butterscotch. Obviously, the whipped cream, multiple cherries. You can have with or without nuts. So get yourself the Schwarbomb sundae.
I think Kyle Schwarber has twice the amount of home runs himself than the Boston Red Sox do.
Yeah.
What a colossal mistake. A colossal mistake because he fit in Boston at the time.
He did.
And the Red Sox could have a Schwarbomb. They could have that.
We could have that. Yeah, the Fenway. Fenway could be selling the Schwarbomb.
They cheaped out and they didn't want to sign him.
They sent him there to Philadelphia. For me, still the traditional ballpark food that I like. I like to get the sausage outside of Fenway Park.
Yep.
And then you enjoy that. And then inside Fenway Park, I'm a sucker for a Fenway Frank. I still think they're just so good. And there's something about the Fenway Frank probably is the same Fenway Frank I can get anywhere, but there's something about consuming it inside of Fenway Park. It tastes so much better.
I like the clam chowder I get from Legal Seafoods.
Sure, it's good.
I agree with you 100% on the sausage outside of Fenway.
Yeah,
I think that's a great play. Yeah, sometimes fries. Sometimes I'll do fries.
Yeah.
I like getting peanuts.
Oh, absolutely.
I always
Peanuts
have a
are
bag
great.
of peanuts for the game, and I just kind of nibble away at that.
Doug, do you have a go-to ballpark food when you visit?
I rarely ever eat at the ballpark, so it's usually going to be nachos more than anything. Nachos and a drink, like maybe water or something.
I bet they could put in the rally sombrero. They could put nachos for you, and that way you could have a big bucket of nachos and then wear the sombrero.
As long as I eat it, make sure that I don't get it all over me,
Yeah, of course.
Still kind of, I honestly, since you said it, I'm just thinking about that lobster poutine.
Yeah.
And
it looks like, I bet it looks like just a massive mess, but tastes delicious.
Clam chowder has potatoes in it. So the French fries, it's
crispy fries.
Yeah, that kind of works.
Of course, you got the Luke's lobster meat is very famous, but Luke's lobster meat, of course, you have, and then bacon will add a little bit of flavor.
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of things there that it probably cost about $65 for a bowl.
Oh, probably, and the bowl's probably about this big, but it's probably worth every penny, I bet. You'll have to check it out next time you're at Fenway. At least, even if you don't get it, at least.
And no cheese curds or anything like that. Just it's just what you said.
Yeah, just what I said. Because you don't have the gravy that you would have in
Dog, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. If we make it down there, I think the three of us
the lobster poutine.
Lobster poutine.
All right, I'm in.
I think that's great.
Nice.
We're gonna have to talk about the Red Sox a little bit when we come back, because they're borderline relevant.
Yeah.
But after last night, they're so frustrating. You can catch the Red Sox. They're on today. They're playing game 2 against the Minnesota Twins. It's home. You're going to catch it on the Pulse. 3:10 pregame, 4:10 first pitch. Mm-hmm. They blew it last night.
Oh, they
blew it last night.
They had a nice, comfortable lead.
And they blew it from a point of strength.
Yeah.
The pitching has been a point of strength. We'll get to it when we come back, but we're gonna go to the Red Sox, and I don't know. We're gonna try and spin this positively, maybe.
I think we can.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back to. We're gonna do a little trivia this week. Bailey's Bubble is sponsoring trivia, so we'll have some trivia, and then I do want to touch a little bit. Obviously, we're gonna do the Red Sox. I do want to touch a little bit on go figure TB12 and Bill Belichick.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, we'll be right back.
107.7 WTPL, the pulse of New Hampshire.
Big news, Great Bay Spa and Sauna is celebrating 50 years of helping New England relax, recharge, and feel their best. For 50 years, Great Bay Spa and Sauna has been your trusted source for hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, cold plunge tubs, and all-season pools. Family owned and operated since 1976, they've built their reputation on expert service, premium products, and helping families create wellness at home. Now, with 2 full showrooms serving New England, visit their flagship Portsmouth location and their beautiful South Portland showroom on Main Mall Road. To celebrate 50 years, Great Bay is offering incredible savings at both locations. Save thousands on hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, massage chairs, and more. Whether you're looking for stress relief, recovery, fitness, or your own backyard escape, Great Bay Spa and Sauna has options for every lifestyle and every budget. Backed by 50 years of experience, knowledge, and service. Now you've got twice the opportunity to experience the ultimate in relaxation and wellness. Visit the South Portland showroom at 357 Main Mall Road or the Portsmouth location at 1850 Woodbury Avenue. Great Bay Spa and Sauna. Wellness starts here.
Now at McDonald's, there's a meal deal with your name on it. And your name doesn't have to be meal or deal to get it. But it can be.
With McValue, get a meal deal featuring a McDouble, 4-piece McNuggets, fries, and a small Coke, all for just $6. Or swap that McDouble for a hot and spicy or classic McChicken at just $5. Price of participation may vary. Promotion pricing may be lower than meal pricing. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Considering a new career in the lucrative, exciting, ever-growing trade industries? How about building a hands-on future today at the New Hampshire School of Mechanical Trades in Manchester, Hampton, and Moulton Borough? Don't miss out on an incredible 50% off the Electrical 101 tuition package. That's over $1,000 in savings, so don't miss out on your chance for the deal of the year. This course is designed to train students in basic electrical skill to kickstart a career in electrical, combining theory, instruction, and hands-on lab practice. Check out the details on NHDollarSaver.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
To all the local businesses.
New England's largest locally owned multimedia company, Binny Media, wants to help you grow. We reach your customers
Wherever they are.
on this station and many others.
On eye-catching digital billboards. Through our full-service in-house digital marketing team. And on connected TV.
Putting your brand on their screens. We'll connect your business to future customers in traffic, social feeds, and streaming shows. Binny Media,
Rooted here.
reaching everywhere. Learn more
At BinnyMedia.com.
Get in touch with the show anytime at thepulseofnh.com and on the free-to-download Pulse of NH app. Now, back to Mike and the Haas on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Haas on the radio waves. Teachers by day, coaches making plays. Sports talking kings of Wolfboro Town. Husbands, fathers, where heroes are found.
It is ice cream season, and there's nothing better during ice cream season than ice cream from Bailey's Bubble.
Absolutely. Bailey's Bubble, they're up and running for the summer. My favorite, as we've talked before, is their chocolate peanut butter, but their sauces are delicious. Their soft serve is amazing. I don't know if you knew this, but their soft serve has a little bit more milk fat in it, which makes it even creamier than the typical places that you can get soft serve. It's just so good. So you can get the traditional chocolate, the vanilla, you can get the twist, and then they also have the flavor burst where you can have different flavors put into your vanilla. So good stuff. Bailey's Bubble, they are sponsoring a trivia this morning, and you have a chance to win a Bailey's Bubble gift card. Okay. 603-228-2080, 603-228-2080. Which world-class athlete holds the record for consuming the most hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes? Which world-class athlete holds the record for consuming the most hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes? Name the athlete. 603-228-2080, 603-228-2080.
I'm stuck on athlete, but we'll worry about that after somebody calls.
Oh, it's world class.
We're gonna worry about that after somebody calls. You wanted to.
I want to talk a little bit about. Yeah.
All right, so you go. Let's talk about TB12.
All right, TB12 and Bill Belichick. So Bill was recently interviewed. It was a Fox interview. Bill Belichick acknowledges that it was a good decision for TB12 to leave New England for Tampa in 2020. Bill said the Patriots put everything into winning in 2019. Antonio Brown, Mohamed Sanu, and they even gave TB12 a little bit of a raise. But they lost to the Titans, as we know, in the first round of the playoffs. The Patriots paid a steep price for not keeping Brady, suffering losing records in 4 of their first 5 seasons without him, and of course, firing Bill in 2024. Bill went on to say We all understood that there was a good chance that he would leave, he being TB12. I think Tom made a great career decision, obviously. I wish we could have done more, but we went as far as we could. So obviously Bill knew he was leaving. They tried to keep him, but at the end of the day, Tom Brady made the right decision, and he went on to win another Super Bowl with Tampa.
I'm going to talk. I have some thoughts, obviously, on
course.
this. I want to talk about this, but first, let's go to Skip from Somersworth. He has an answer for the poll question.
All right, Skip.
Skip, what do you got?
I think you're talking about Joey Chestnuts, right?
We are talking about Joey Chestnut, the world-class athlete, the competitive eater. Yes, sir. You can show off your competitive eating prowess at the Bailey's Bubble because you just won yourself a gift card.
Let's ask Skip. Skip, my issue with Charlie's trivia question is he described Joey Chestnut as a world-class athlete. Do you think that competitive eating is a sport?
Not really.
Unfortunately, Skip has now just lost his gift card to Bailey's Bubble. All right, Skip. Well, I hope you have a good hope you have a good long weekend. I hope you get a chance to enjoy some ice cream at Bailey's Bubble.
Thank you, Skip.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
We're not going to do it.
We're not going to do it today,
but
because Nathan's hot dog eating contest is coming up. So in a future show, we're going to spend a lot of time, maybe multiple segments, just on that.
In our 8 years now doing the show, we have had at least 8 debates on the validity of competitive eating as far as the sport goes. And so, yes, when you did your trivia question, I had not read it earlier. And world-class athlete, you hit that hard. But
I did.
We could talk
the
about
other
that.
thing is, and just so you guys know, Joey Chestnut is in the news. Unfortunately, he ended up slapping someone in a bar, and he was arrested for it. And Joey Chestnut he's on probation right now. He's been given permission by the judge to travel to Coney Island, to New York, to be able to compete in this year's July 4th hot dog eating contest. But I was hoping to have the opportunity to actually meet Joey Chestnut because he was going to be traveling to New Hampshire in early July to do a contest at a local casino. But it doesn't look like, unless he gets his legal issues fixed, he's going to be able to attend.
That's too bad. I'm sure.
Mike, yes, it is too bad because I was hoping to have a chance to meet Joey.
All right, I want to react to the TB12 stick. Bill needs to go away. Every single time Bill opens his mouth now, he's tarnishing more and more of his legacy, and he's doing it to a point where he's the laughingstock. To say that it was great for Tom Brady to leave.
Sure.
But he was the reason why he left.
Right.
And to point out that they gave him a bump in his raise.
Yeah.
The guy that won 6 Super Bowls for you, that you're going to acknowledge that you gave him a little bump in his raise to bring him up to the median pay for quarterbacks in that league is insane. And Bill is trying to basically put lipstick on a pig at this point in terms of his reputation and what he's doing. He's still trying to get back into the NFL, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is an absolute pipe dream at this point, based on what's happened. North Carolina football has become a joke.
Yeah.
It was not quite the joke that it is now. They had not one single player drafted in the previous draft. Not one single player drafted. There have been some great players come out of North Carolina. Drake May would be one of them. Julius Peppers, there's another one. These are top level players that have come out of North Carolina. Not one single player was drafted from North Carolina this year. We saw what they did. They were getting humiliated every single week unless they played basically a Division II team. It was just one thing after another. We heard after this, they just about the whole team jumped into the transfer portal.
Right.
Bill is not doing himself any favors. The best thing that he could do at this point, in my opinion, is retire from coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do some comedy. He's not great at that, but
could be an analyst.
Maybe do an analyst. Never talk about the Patriots. Never talk about his own self, trying to promote his own self.
Right.
Just go X's and O's in the ball game. Gain that respect back. Let people forget about the last 3 years of his coaching,
Jordan,
and Jordan, and that whole bit, because there's not going to be nothing left. There's going to be nothing left for him. We talked. He didn't make it into the Hall of Fame this year.
Right.
The reason why he keeps not making it into, or he didn't not making it into the Hall of Fame, and Bob Kraft didn't make it in the Hall of Fame either, is because he's opening his mouth trying to grasp onto something from his legacy and try to be relevant in the NFL and just talk about TB12. And I think what he's trying to do is kind of repair that whole narrative around TB12. But I don't think he just did that.
Yeah.
Saying that it was great for him, for Tom Brady to go to Tampa, he was in complete control whether he went to Tampa or not.
Right.
It was
actually
complete control.
He forced Tom to go to Tampa.
He pushed him out, and we saw what is happening. Bill needs to be quiet.
Agreed.
All right. Let's do our poll question from last week and this week before we go to break, Dog. Last week, what did we do?
Should the Red Sox trade for Mike Trout? 100% yes.
That is, we
amazing.
said there was smoke, there's fire. That's not much smoke this week on that one.
No.
You're going to be disappointed.
I know.
Right.
I know.
What about this week, Dog? What are we going to do?
Will the Celtics trade Jaylen Brown this offseason? Yes or no? That's the poll question on X.
Jaylen Brown needs to shut up.
Yeah. Just been running his mouth. And it's been well publicized. Some of the things that he said, that this was his favorite season. He was so happy about this season. He wished he could replay it back and have the same season again. They got ousted in the first round of the playoffs. It doesn't look like the Celtics are trending upward at this point. It looks like they're trending downward. And he is doubling down, just kind of like Bill's doing, and talking about it. And then he went after Stephen A. Smith, that Stephen A. Smith should retire. And now you're dealing with massive egos and kind of getting out of his lane at this point. Jaylen Brown's kind of getting out of his lane. Right. What Stephen A. did was just call him out for saying, why are you saying this was your favorite season when you get ousted? That's not what a championship team does. Right. Yeah. I mean, Stephen A. Smith said the right thing. And I mean, like if you're Jaylen Brown, I wouldn't mess with Stephen A. Smith. The guy's got a microphone. The guy is well respected all around the country as far as, the sports guy, whether you love him or hate him, he can make your life miserable. He can also make it positive too. And Jaylen Brown going to war with Stephen A. Smith is not a good PR move for him, especially since of the things that Jaylen Brown's saying. And now as a Celtics fan, you're like, hey, get rid of Jaylen Brown. I mean, that's where I'm at. Get rid of him. And you don't see anyone else on the Celtics saying that this was the best season ever. The season was terrible. It's a failure.
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they're at a point where, part of me thinks maybe they need to tear this thing down.
Just rebuild.
But if you don't try to win now, you're in the Tatum and Brown's prime years. If you don't try to win now, you're going to try and circle it back 5 or 6 years from now when Tatum is a shell of himself.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily a big fan of Jason Tatum, but this is a mess right now.
Jason Tatum seems to be doing the right things, though. I mean, he doesn't, as far as...
Yes, Jason Tatum has done... Well, the documentary about his rehab was a little obnoxious.
Yeah.
But he does not open his mouth in the way that Jaylen Brown does. And what Jaylen Brown is doing is just, again, we see it so many with these athletes. His team's out, but he's trying to stay in the news, trying to stay, keeping his social media going and Twitch and all that other kind of stuff that he does. He's losing me. Jaylen Brown's losing me.
Yeah, absolutely. You just brought up a good idea. Should Mike and the Haas do a documentary? Can you imagine that? The past 8 years.
Behind the scenes, Mike and the Haas.
Be amazing.
We'll leave the camera going during the break. So we're going to go to break. We'll be back. We are going to talk about Red Sox.
This is the Pulse of New Hampshire, 107.7 WTPL.
Hi, my name is Dennis Roberts Jr., and I'm the owner of Hillsboro Ford and Hillsboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram right here in Hillsboro, New Hampshire. A lot of people ask me this question: what's the best deal on the lot right now? A little backstory here. My father is retired now, and hopefully you can see my air quotes in the word retired. And like many retired people, he's always hunting for a good deal. And when there's a deal, he can't stop buying. In the past few months, he's purchased more than 40 Jeep Wranglers that are one model year old with very low mileage. I think I have to use a stock number when I say this. So stock number F1643 is priced at $29,500. That's over $30,000 off the original MSRP. So someone else has already taken taken the biggest amount of depreciation for this one model year old Jeep with 19,000 miles on it. And we have plenty others to choose from with similar savings. So if you're looking for a great experience and a great deal, head to the Hills, Hillsboro Ford and Hillsboro Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, right here in historic Hillsboro, New Hampshire. It's crazy to think we've been doing business in this town for 30 years. I'd like to call us the abnormally normal car dealership, where a great price doesn't mean you have to give up on a great experience.
In 1908, William W. Kolb, a candy maker in Newark, New Jersey, was experimenting with red cinnamon candy for Christmas. He wanted something to put on display in his shop window for the season.
Instead of just making pieces of candy, he dipped apples into the mixture, let the coating cover the fruit, and placed them in his shop window for 5 cents each.
They sold out in minutes, giving invention to the sweet treat we still love to this day, the candy apple. And American Fences was there.
Since 1892, American Fences has been a Mathera family-owned business. Whether your fence is professionally installed or a do-it-yourself project, experience matters. That's why American Fences is with you every step of the way with the best fencing materials and first-rate customer service.
So, pick us, the most appealing company in New Hampshire. Call today, 603-485-7197.
American Fences Incorporated, located on the Hooksett Road in Hooksett.
And online at AmericanFences.net.
Do you have a worn, faded, or torn American flag? According to the U.S. Flag Code, flags that are no longer serviceable should be retired with dignity, preferably by burning. That's why Win Waste Innovations has teamed up with the American Legion and Scouting America to give proper retirement to your old or tattered flags. On Flag Day weekend, June 13th, these partners will hold a flag retirement ceremony at Win Waste state-of-the-art waste-to-energy facility in Pennacook. If you have a flag in need of proper retirement, please bring it to your local American Legion post by Thursday, June 11th, and deposit it in the Red Win Waste Box to be part of this respectful tribute to our nation's colors. For more drop-off locations, simply text FLAG to 78,000. Win Waste Innovations, performance for the planet. To learn more, go to win-waste.com and select Concord on the locations page.
You're listening to the Granite State's own Mike and the Hoss
On the pulse of New Hampshire.
Mike and the Hoss, Sports Talk Classics in New England Magic broadcast.
Even though rap's my favorite, I'm going to have to cut it short.
Oh, boy.
We only have a few minutes left in the show. Our last segment's brought to you by Maine Love Water.
Maine Love Water and seltzers are sourced from pristine Maine waters, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste in every can. Next time you reach for canned water or a seltzer, choose Maine Love.
This week, during overtime with Mike and the Hoss, we played a little I guess it was a game. We pretended to be the GM. And what would we do? And you can catch that on the Pulse Podcast Network. What would we do in terms of if we were the GM? Craig Barzal was gone, right now? What would we do? We went through our list of things, and basically we DFA'd half the lineup. But which is something, and Caleb Durbin is near the top of our list. Trevor Story was at the top of our list, and so on. Their offense is historically for the Red Sox poor, and they're combining it with a pitching staff that is near the top of Major League Baseball. Right. And I gave you guys the stat earlier this week that if the Red Sox had an average offensive production, which is 4.2 runs per game, they would have the best record in baseball.
Yep. Right.
Incredible.
It is incredible.
Incredible. And
because they can pitch and they can play defense.
They can pitch. Last night was not an example of the pitching. So it was incredibly frustrating that they gave up that. I mean, they were rolling. And Peyton Tolley gave them a little problem that I had. Peyton Tolley got pulled out after 85 pitches. He went 6.1, I think. And he was at 85 pitches. Maybe we should see, and the other night, whoever the starter was, maybe we should be thinking of the 95 to 100 pitches. Yeah. This seems to be a habit for Chad Tracy in terms of pulling the pitchers out in that 80 to 90 rather than the 90 to 100, 105. And I want to see that. Extend those guys a little bit. Peyton Tolley was dealing after the second inning.
Yeah.
He was dealing after the second inning, striking a lot of guys out. He had the attitude, which we see with Peyton Tolley. He did have that attitude. Some stats for the Boston Red Sox. They are. This was as of a couple of days ago. 0-18 when the Red Sox are down by 3 runs in a game. 0-18.
Wow,
incredible. They're 8-14 at Fenway, or now probably 8-15 at Fenway.
Yeah.
29 of their 46 games, they've scored 3 runs or less.
Wow. So just no offensive production.
When we go to a baseball game,
yeah,
what do you want to see?
Offense.
Offense. I don't want to see stupid offense. And I know there's talk about lowering the mound and pushing the mound back and artificially creating offense. I go back to, and we talked about this in overtime, the philosophy of the hitting for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And it's not just the Red Sox. I mean, we've seen, you go through major league stats where half the teams now bat below 240 as an average.
Yeah.
And 15 years ago, nobody was batting below 240.
Right.
So we've seen the numbers drop, and I think it's more about philosophy. I think it's the analytics of the game that they don't want to. That strikeouts are okay, home runs, just swing for the fence every time.
Yeah.
Don't make contact. Don't get the ball in play.
Right.
As baseball coaches, former baseball coaches,
we don't want that.
When kids got down to 2 strikes, always the same thing: choke up, make them feel the ball,
hit for contact,
make them feel the ball,
Yeah.
and that doesn't happen in baseball anymore. Certainly doesn't happen in Major League Baseball. I can go down. We could save these stats, but none of them are good.
No,
So-
no, not at all. And I think we'll see what's going to happen as far as the future of the Red Sox, as far as who are they going to build around? Are they going to make any trades? We were a little bit down during our podcast, a little bit down on Jarren Duran, and then he got hot, in the past couple of games.
Trade him. Trade him
So
now.
now that I was going to say, now that his stock seems to be rising, make the trade. Go ahead and move him.
You're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to do something with Brian Bayo. They're gonna have to send Brian Bayo back to AAA, or they're gonna have to trade him. They just need change of scenery.
They got to
Jarren
figure
Duran-
out. They got to figure out the Caleb Durbin experiment.
I don't think there's much to figure out there. I mean, it doesn't take much to realize he's not ready for the Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
I understand. He finished 3rd in Rookie of the Year last year. That's the anomaly, apparently, on what he did
But
in
that's also in
Milwaukee.
the past. I mean, your best hitter right now is Nick Sogard. So he's
Nick Sogard has more hits than Caleb Durbin. He's been up for a week.
Yeah. So I mean, think
about that stat.
He's someone that needs
He's
to be in
been
the
here
lineup all
for
the
a
time.
week.
Right.
He has more hits this year than Caleb Durbin.
It's a problem.
It's kind of an issue. It's really. I'm going to jump this a little bit. It's relegation league. It's relegation season for the Premier League
for
in soccer.
Yeah.
And I love it. And ESPN did a little fan perspective in relegation league, and these fans their teams that are on the bubble of relegation are panicking because they don't want to get relegated.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, which league out of the major 4 leagues do you think that we could pull off relegation?
Well, we can't do it for football. I mean, unless you're going to send them to college.
So the four major leagues, obviously the NFL, NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Which league do you think is ripe that you could do relegation?
I think
I
you could do
agree
it.
with you.
Yeah.
The NFL, we don't have that B league of NFL.
We could do it with baseball. I mean, you got AAA, AA, single A, right? So you could do it. You could bring up your best AAA team and move down.
Wouldn't it be amazing if, like, the Durham Bulls,
or the Buffalo Bison,
Bisons, were elevated, and they got elevated to Major League Baseball, and their stadium of 8,000 people now is a Major League Baseball stadium.
Right.
Would that be incredible?
That would be incredible. Or are you thinking? I was even thinking going to the extreme. Let's just say it's the Boston Red Sox that get sent down. The Red Sox then have to play in that AAA stadium. So say it's the Buffalo Bisons. They swap stadiums. The Buffalo is now playing in Fenway. How fun would that be?
I think it would be great. I think the NHL could do it. I think that there's enough minor league hockey teams that you could do it, and I think the NBA with the G League they could do it.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to happen. Obviously, it's not going to happen. But it would be a lot of
just
fun.
Be one team, just one team.
It would be a lot of fun. That last place team has to, play for their position.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Relegate them all. All right, that's going to do it for us. Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire. Catch the Red Sox later today. 3:10 pregame, 4:10 first pitch. We'll see you next week.
Enjoy the long weekend.